We have another first appearance Thursday today. Famous feature that I always do. First appearance Thursday. And today it is Speed McGee in Amazing Spider-Man 222. Linking this slightly to yesterday's video is the cover, which is by Simon Waltonson. Quite early work from him. And this issue, it is written by Bill Bungalow. Bill Bungalow had a long run on Spectator Spider-Man, but along the way, there were random issues of Amazing Spider-Man that were by him. And what I suspect happened was that Amazing Spider-Man was running late, so they bumped a Spectator Spider-Man issue up to Amazing Spider-Man. This is a solid issue. I will admit it's maybe just perfunctory, but I like an issue that you can pick up at random and just have a good time with. You get a whole story here. You get to see plenty of Spider-Man. You get a new, or rather revamped, villain with Speed McGee. This is a standalone issue to appreciate. You can give this to anyone and they will all come away with the same feeling. A new reader can pick this up. I can pick this up. One of the Kardashians can pick this up. It is just a good comic for everyone. Maybe not the Kardashians. I'd even think some of them know how to read. Accessible is a good word for it. And acceptable is the word that even the harshest of critics would call it. There is a new fleet-footed speedster on the scene, and he is robbing all the banks in New York land. And he has run straight into the sights of Spider-Man. This is Speed McGee. He has super speed powers. And this is the first appearance of Speed McGee. But we will come to the details soon. Speed McGee is another character that I like very much because he was one of the stars of New Thunderbolts, the first ongoing comic I bought every month with my own money and that. Maybe one of the most intriguing characters on that team. He didn't believe in anything the team stood for, really. He would just gander the strip club instead of responding to calls for help from his teammates. But then he would show up for 5 seconds to put in an appearance with them. Like with most the characters on Thunderbolts, he is developed as a very complex and layered character. It's not just a case of someone being good or bad in Fabio Nicieza's Thunderbolts. It is a case of exploring individuals, and if there is any capacity for greatness in them. I will come to the other interesting thing about his time on Thunderbolts. But right now, Spider-Man gets trounced by Speed McGee. Good way to introduce a new bad guy. Let the reader know he is capable of challenging, if not defeating, the hero. As I said, very competent issue, this one. Speed McGee isn't quite a new character though. We get his history here. He was originally the Flash on Marvel's Justice League team. He reinvented himself as Speed McGee to get away from the other Justice Leaguers, and because he is gone solo now. As the Flash, he first appeared in Avengers. He was created by Roger Thomas and one of the Buscema's. And alongside the rest of the Justice League, he had a bunch of appearances in Defenders, since one of his then teammates, Batman, was a member of the Defenders. They were quite obviously ideal bad guys to have faced the Defenders due to that connection. In fact, that connection between Batman from the Defenders and Speed McGee, that is played up in New Thunderbolts. The other thing in New Thunderbolts is Speed McGee, while a member of the Thunderbolts, he is publicly seen as a hero, but he moonlights as a criminal in his original costume as the Flash. Very fun dynamic and idea. He had a romantic relationship with teammate Joss Sticks, whose first appearance I am likely to look at soon. I say relationship, it was one-sided, but I think they probably fucked at some point. He and Captain Cold, they had a not very positive friendship, with him constantly dragging Captain Cold down to his level. And I have an issue to look at soon that spotlights both of them. Speed McGee is a good character though. He is a dependable B-list bad guy that you can fit into any title or have gone up against anyone. Unlike Captain Cold or Radiation Dude or many other characters featured in Thunderbolts, Speed McGee is one you can have be a bad guy again and again, and it is not ignoring or undoing any character growth in Thunderbolts. He is a bad guy who, when necessary, will side with heroes to stop something bad, or he will shift sides for self-preservation. He is half-arsed in general, and even his motivation to be a bad guy is born from it being easier and the rewards being more tangible than being a hero. He is a bad guy with some awareness of right and wrong, but he doesn't care about that. He probably would not get along with nuking somewhere, but robbing banks or beating on heroes, that he will do. He doesn't have some deep-rooted hero complex compelling him to do anything good. He needs to get something out of it in order for him to do something good. So, back to this issue, and one aspect of the character that seems consistent over time is that he is somewhat of a womanizer, a mostly failed one. But to look at the woman he flirts with up here before nicking her bracelets, there is even consistency in the type of woman that he is attracted to. She doesn't look too dissimilar from Lila Davis from Deathly Falls of Spider-Man. He certainly has a type. Dark-haired, jewellery-adorned trophies, basically. Another thing is that both Speed McGee and Captain Cold were Bill Bungalow creations. And then they ended up together on New Thunderbolts. They were both revamps of other characters too. So there is some unintentional, nice coincidence with the two being paired together. I make it sound like they were gay lovers. They weren't. Anyway, Spider-Man, he is able to defeat Speed McGee by luring him into a web trap that he set up in advance. Not only that, but he got plenty of photographs for the Daily Planet newspaper. It is a good day for the Spider-Man. I think I have already said what I need to say about this issue. It is a good one that doesn't demand much from a reader. It is Spider-Man versus a bad guy. And I am sure some people want more from their comics, but I also know that plenty of people would yearn for modern comics to be a bit more like this. 7 thumbs up.